Hello everyone, welcome back to the War Diary channel. Please subscribe and like my videos. Imagine waking up to the roar of an explosion ripping through one of the most symbolic structures in modern warfare. That's how Ukraine ignited the Crimean Bridge, and Russia was left reeling. Today we dive deep into that event, its exterior impact, internal damage, strategic performance, safety implications, unique significance, the cost in military terms, and what it all means going forward. At first glance, the exterior view of the bridge after the strike is dramatic. Thick black smoke rising over the Kerch Strait, a section of the bridge sagging, debris in the water, fire flickering over structural spans that once carried both road and rail traffic. The blast targeted underwater supports, causing damage to pillars and rippling through the superstructure above. The combination of fire from fuel tanks, the collapse of road lanes, and the stress on adjacent spans has visibly distorted the frame. The entire scene is one of shock and sudden vulnerability for what was once considered a near-impregnable link between Russia and Crimea, inside, or rather within the structural interior. Of the bridge, the piers, supports, and underbelly, the damage is far more consequential than what the eye sees. Explosive charges designed to hit underwater supports shook the base of the bridge, creating fractures in concrete, stressing rebar, and weakening the load-bearing columns. That hidden damage is critical. Even if a surface span appears intact, its foundation may now be compromised. Repair crews must assess not just surface damage, but internal structural integrity across multiple supports. Performance-wise, the strike delivers a stark message. The bridge's reliability, once assumed secure, has now been challenged. Russia has used that link to transport troops, supplies, heavy equipment, fuel, and logistics into occupied Crimea and southern Ukraine. Interrupting or degrading that flow puts strain on Russian resupply chains. Even partial closures or congestion create bottlenecks and force rerouting. The shock value also affects morale. Russians expect their infrastructure to endure. Ukrainians have shown they can reach deep. That performance gap shifts the dynamic. A strategic link now becomes a liability if it can be targeted and disrupted. From a safety standpoint, the attack raises immediate hazards for military and civilian use. Vehicles crossing risk collapse or further structural failure. Vibrations from continuing traffic may worsen hidden cracks. Emergency repair zones become dangerous zones. On a symbolic level, the bridge's vulnerabilities challenge Russia's narrative of strength and permanence. It also sets precedent. If Ukraine can hit this, what other critical infrastructure is at risk? In wartime, safety is not just physical but psychological. What makes this attack especially potent are its unique selling points, so to speak. Firstly, it is symbolic. The bridge is more than concrete and steel. It is a political statement of control over Crimea. To damage that symbol is to punch at the heart of Russia's claim. Secondly, the method. Underwater explosives targeting supports rather than just bombing the roadway shows sophistication and planning. This was not a random strike. It was precise. Third, timing and message. The attack creates ripple effects across media, diplomacy, and battlefield posture. Fourth, deterrent effect. Each strike signals to Russia that its logistics and infrastructure cannot be assumed safe. Finally, cost, benefit. For Ukraine, the material cost is far lower than the strategic disruptions it causes. Those are the selling points of the operation. If we were to frame a price or cost, it's not measured in dollars but in operational disruption, repair overhead, and strategic recalibration. Russia must divert resources to inspection, reinforcement, protection, surveillance, and repairs. Transit delays and reduced throughput amount to enormous cumulative costs. On the Ukrainian side, planning, intelligence, placement of explosives, reconnaissance, covert operations, risk to operatives, these are costs in human and material capital. Ukraine used roughly 100 kilograms of explosive material in the 2025 attack to damage supports underwater. Russia claimed normal functioning resumed after some hours, but the uncertainty remains. Russia's weariness is evident. Satellite analysis suggests they may have reduced reliance on the bridge for heavy military logistics beyond 2024. In conclusion, this attack marks a turning point. A structure once considered inviolable now lies exposed, damaged beneath the waves, shaken above. Ukraine's ability to strike it undermines Russian confidence and forces a costly recalibration. For viewers, this is not just a dramatic headline, it's evidence of how warfare today blends explosives, engineering, symbolism, and supply chains. The bridge is a scar on Russia's logistical facade. In the weeks and months to come, how Russia responds in repair tactics, defense posture, alternative supply routes will show whether this strike was a one-off shock or a shift in the strategic balance.